Captain's log. As we near the witching hour, we are haunted by bone-chilling remnants in the fright zone. If it wasn't for the brave fortitude of my crew, I don't even know how I would sleep at night. Okay, it's Halloween, almost Halloween, and I know a lot of collectors out there have been digging, as well as myself, honestly, have been digging for those horror comics all month long, mainly for the covers. Even the big three had a bunch of awesome comics come out. The most popular comic book of this month, or even really the most popular comic book of this year, would have been Mark Spears' Monsters. And unfortunately, I didn't get to pick that up because I had to go through 2 different hurricanes, and a lot of the comic books that I ordered were either back issued or ones that was waiting to come on the shelf didn't even show up. Like Lilith, I never found Lilith. I don't know what happened with that. So even besides that, I did get to pick up a couple awesome spooky scary issues for the from the back bins. So you guys, to start with, you guys know our motto: if it's in a poly bag, grab it. And we got first our Dead by Daylight, #1. I believe it's by Titan Comics. Back that up. And this one, it's just like a video game. If you guys have played it, it's a pretty cool video game. And it's by Jay Lee. The cover is by Jay Lee, one of the best artists of our generation. So that one's pretty cool. The next set is kind of special because for one, it's Dracula. And for two, it's Mike Magnolia's cover. And well, his art, everybody, you can just, there's nothing to say about him. You can tell what his art is. It's always amazing. But this is the movie adaptation for the 90s movie adaptation for Bram Stoker's Dracula. And it's a Topps comic, so it did come with cards. That's the first one. The second one. And it does, and this movie, if you haven't seen it, is Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves, and Anthony Hopkins. So they're just awesome. The cards are awesome. And I have found these in the back bins before, but never intact and never all together. So that was pretty cool. That was a good find. And speaking of vampires, we got a couple of vampire comics here on the top. First, we got the Vampire Versus. It's by Visual Anarchy, and it is signed right down there at the bottom. It's just an awesome cover. Vampire staring back at you. And then also another headshot of a vampire. We got Joe Jusko, who no one does a vampy better. This is #1, 1996. So that's just an awesome cover. We got London Night #1, Vampire's Tattoo, 1997. This covered by Steven Sandoval. So if you guys know comics, you know about that one. We got #1, Deadbeats, covered by Richard Howell. That's the founder of Claypool Comics. This is Claypool Comics. And that's just an awesome cover too. Scary. So that's pretty cool. And then we got Young Dracula #2. I also have #1. It's literally the same cover, so that's kind of crazy. It's by David Mack, and it's just a fascinating take on the King of Vampires. So that one's pretty cool. Next, we got Innovation Anne Rice's Queen of the Damned, #1, 1991, covered by Derek Gross. He's known for like his awesome Lady Death pieces and Domino. He's just like a bad girl artist. So that one's pretty cool. We got Alpha Comics. This is a Billy Joe Van Helsing Redneck Vampire Hunter. This one's like funny. You see him here with like his butt crack out. This girl's getting drunk over here. But not too many people know about this series. It's just got like gruesome covers. It's Fred Harper. It's 1992 for that one because I didn't get to do her right. All right, next is Dark Horse, Let Me In, Crossroads. This one's the 4th out of 4. And this was just a prelude to the actual movie. The movie is actually a remake of a Swedish movie. And it came out like 2 years after the Swedish movie. And it was right around the time that like A Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was coming out. Gone Girl was coming out. Those are like Swedish movies that American companies like remade. And it's just an awesome cover. I do think, do I have number 1? I might have number 1, but I'm not sure. This one is just a cover by Sean Phillips in 2011. So that one's pretty cool. And that's it for the vampire books. Now we just got like creepy, crawly stuff. This one is Dark Horse Comics number 7, Richard Corbin's Shadows on the Grave. And it's 2001. Just awesome, like skeleton coming out of the door, and he has hair. So what is that about? I don't know. Well, I guess skeletons do have hair. But Grim Fairy Tales by Jen Scope. We got a 2015 Halloween special, and this one's awesome because it's like a Leatherface homage. She's there with the chainsaw because you know she doesn't. She's like, I'm pretty sure she fights with like a sword. She's got like magical powers. But this is just 2015, covered by Pasquale Quilano, if I'm saying that right. And then next, so we got AC Comics. This is a special Halloween issue, Weird Men of a Mystery, number 34. And this is 2001, covered by Bill Black. He's like a local artist. So that's pretty cool. This one, we got Eagle Comics, Nemesis. What is that? Warlock? The Warlock? And this one's just a 2080 universe, like, type comic. If you can see, he's, like, all futuristic. Still got one eyeball. He's, like, see-through and pink. He doesn't even have legs. And look at those claws. That's, like, crazy. But this is a cover by Kevin O'Neill. And he's just known for, like, the League of... the Ex-Gentleman, Martial Law, he does those. So this one's pretty cool. Then we got the number 1 for Monster Frat House and Eternity Comics one-shot. So that's by Eternity Comics, cover done by Madman. And one-shots are always cool. And look at this cover. That's just awesome. You got the vampire, you got like a cheerleader, the werewolf, Frankenstein is a cheerleader, no. She's the only normal one, it looks like. So that one's pretty cool. This one is Dell Comics Ghost Stories. And I think this one is also, no. So Ghost Stories number 37 is from 1973. And it's covered by Neil Adams. Talked about him before. So that one's pretty cool. And then we got 2 Puppet Masters, number 1 and number 2. And Puppet Master is just by Glenn Lumsden. And it's just an 80s movie with like multiple sequels. And here we got, where's he at? This is Pinhead and this is Blade. And it's just like a horror movie. So that one's pretty cool. I think it's like 1990, 1991. And then this is Twilight Zone number 1. This one's by IDW. Nope, Now. And this is 1991. Covered by Eddie Newell. It's just one of my favorite series, and it's also an awesome cover. He's mainly known for like his 90s blacklighting comic covers. So this one's pretty cool. Then we got Grim Tales of Terror, Hellfire by Jen Scope. Number 1 from 2017. I think his name is Jibbo Gigante. Something like that. But Jen Scope is just, it revolves around the retelling of like old classic characters like Red Riding Hood, and they do Beauty and the Beast, and they do like Wizard of Oz, and they just retell weird stories. They even have like Greek goddesses and stuff like that. So that one's pretty cool. And it's got like mature content. It's like Grim Fairy Tales for mature content. And then this is Eclipse Comics Fear Book number 1 for the little micro series they did. And this one's the 1980 stick by Stephen Bissett and Rick Veitch. This one collects like old school horror stories from the 50s and 60s. So that one's pretty cool. And next we got, and then we got 2 Charlton comics. The first one is Ghostly Tales. This one's number 69. It's 1968, cover by Steve Ditko during like his exclusively Charlton era, and a beautiful Ditko cover. Honestly, it's got 3 stories of death, and it looks like fun, but it's a book I definitely wouldn't like recommend. It's one of those other scary tummy turning books. And then The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, also Charlton Comics. This one's by 1981 by Rocco Masterio, and another Charlton book is not as scary, but it's still pretty awesome. So this was 1993 Fear book. It's number 1. It's just by Dan Barrington, who is awesome. We gotta love Dan Barrington, of course. And it's featuring Vampirilla, so that's always cool. And you got Eerie right here as well. So that's pretty cool. And then we got Bats, Cats, and that would be cool, Bats, Cats, and Cadillacs, number 1 by Now Comics. And it's even got like the little Cadillac emblem there. But this one's just 1989, covered by John Snyder. And he's also one of my favorite trading card artists by like Topps, Upper Decks. He does like Wildstorm, so that's pretty cool. And it's just a comic about like shapeshifters, gangsters, and cool cars. So that one's pretty awesome. Alright, next, you guys know no horror haul would be complete without a Tales of the Crypt. So we got Tales of the Crypt number 7, 1993 cover by Albert Fieldstein. And he's one of EC and Mad's original artists. So the art's awesome. The comic book is awesome. And then we got PC Comics, Arthur Sudam's Demon Dreams. This is number 1. And this one's quite terrifying. The art and the story here are both pretty creepy. If you have like a light stomach, one I wouldn't recommend. And then we got Mad Midnight Horror Movie Adaptation, or Movie Marathon. So Mad Midnight Horror Movie Marathon, number 16. This is 2020 by Bob Legazzara, and he's well known in the Hollywood circles for his work and his film. And he just does like awesome scary dolls. Like, look at that. That looks awesome. Alright, guys. Alright, and you guys know no haul would be finished without a glow comic, of course. So we got a R.L. Stine. Let me show you how it looks in the dark. That's so cool, right? So it's R.L. Stine's Stuff of Nightmares, which is so awesome. R.L. Stine has not only just done Goosebumps, he's done a lot of other scary, spooky tales, and he definitely did these comics right here. It's by Boom. This one's number 1, and it's not the only one I have. I have like a Christmas edition. I have a few that I'll be showing you guys soon. But this one just it's so awesome. And Stuff of Nightmares is kind of like a Tales of the Crypt style telling story. Is the guy is like called the Keeper of Nightmares or something, and he's showing you like creepy objects around his library that has stories behind it. So that's pretty cool. And speaking of Goosebumps, also you can't end a haul without cards. So I ended up picking up also something I've been looking for a long time, because Goosebumps has a lot of awesome, other than just like their base cards, they have a lot of awesome regular like chase cards. And I got the set for the foil embossed, and it comes with 6. So that's 1. And these are just all book covers. So you guys know these books. I think this one's like The Haunted Mask. This one, I can't remember that one's name. But they all look so cool. And they're foil and embossed. So those are so cool. And I picked up 2 lenticulars. Also the names. And I think these actually have the names on them. They do not. But this one might be... No, that one's not The Monsters Unleashed. I mainly read The Monsters Unleashed. So that one was pretty cool. This one says Stay Out of the Basement. I do remember that book. I lie. But how cool. This one, I think, has 4 of the lenticulars. But the foil embossed that is the whole set. So that is pretty cool. But that's pretty much it. So for all you true believers out there, live long and prosper, and may the force be with you.